Now, I wanted to share with you some stories in different styles. So the next one is in a very different style. It's the Prodigal Son story as a tongue twister, kind of alliteration story. It's called Parable in F. For young audiences, I summarize the parable first, but I think I'll just start right ahead with all of you. A feeling footloose and frisky, a feather-brained fellow forced his fond father to fork over the farthings and flew far on his filly to foreign fields and frittered his fortune with frequent feminine follies. Fifi, Frida, and feasting fabulously with faithless friends. Fleeced by his fellows in folly and facing famine, he found himself a feed flinger in a filthy farmyard. Fairly famishing, he fain would have filled his frame with forage food from fodder fragments. Phooey! My father's feed flingers fare far finer, the frazzled fugitive forlornly fumbled, frankly facing facts. Frustrated by failure and filled with foreboding, he fled forthwith to his family. Falling at his father's feet, he forlornly fumbled, "Father, I flunked," and fruitlessly forfeited family favor. The far-sighted father, forestalling further flinchings, frantically flagged the feed flingers to fetch a fatling from the flock and fix a feast. The fugitive's fault-finding brother frowned on the fickle forgiveness of former falderall. He fumed feverishly, his fury flashed. But fussing was futile. Filial fidelity is fine, but the fugitive is found. What forbids fervent festivities? Let flags be unfurled, let fanfares flare, let fun and frolic freely flow. Father's forgiveness formed the foundation for the former fugitive's future fortitude. Now, as my final piece, I wanted to share with you one last piece, which is I wanted to give a different example. There's a song, a sheep song by Jernnigan. I'm going to quickly do a mime to that piece. It's the story of the lost sheep.
Once upon a time, two little lambs were lost. One was cold, he could not find his way. He wandered around, lost and alone, weakening more every day. But then a still small voice started calling his name, and the little lost lamb heard the cry. So he followed the master right back to the fold, and he was sheltered in his arms all the while. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me, and I give unto them eternal life. But the other lost lamb set out to search on his own, to find happiness outside of the fold. Thought he'd do as he pleased and never worry again, be his own master and guide of his life. As he was feeding upon the meadow of life, he met a wolf in sheep's clothing one day. The wolf said, "Come with me now, be happy always, just give me control of your life." But the poor little lamb, feeling afraid and ashamed, started running, crying, "I'm sorry, Lord." But try as he might, he could not find the fold. He was alone, crying, "I'm sorry, Lord." But then that still small voice started calling his name, and the little lost lamb heard the cry. So he followed the master right back to the fold, and he was sheltered in his arms all the while. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me, and I give unto them eternal life. Do you hear him calling your name? He calls from the fold's open door. Just follow the master right back to the fold, and you'll be sheltered in his arms. Oh.